Today on our Humble Chats segment, we have a truly inspiring guest joining us. Lesonga Emmanuel Fonoti-Fuimaono is a talented Samoan tenor who has been making waves on the world stage, more specifically in the world of opera and classical music. At just 26 years old, he's been selected as one of only a few singers worldwide to join the Royal Opera House's prestigious Young Artist Program, the Jette Parker Artist Program in London, the first Kiwi of Samoan heritage to achieve this honour. His journey from his local community to the international opera scene is most definitely a proud moment for Samoa and Aotearoa, as well as the Pacific. So joining us to talk more about his career and what he has in store over the next several months is the one and only Emmanuel Fonoti-Fuimaono. Talofa lava and welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, talofa lava, Lani. Thank you for having me.
Teki, man. Thank you for making time to have a chat with us this afternoon. Also, I really appreciate it. Look, as we do with all our guests that come on the 685 show for Humble Chats, before we get into the business side of things, we give you the opportunity to whailoa who you are. Who is Emmanuel? Where are you from? What are your villages? Who are you representing? And all of that good stuff before we get into the nitty gritty.
Sweet, yeah. Hello, my name is Emmanuel. I'm a Samoan tenor, 26, and I'll be 27 tomorrow.
Let's go.
Getting older. My mum's village. Her name's Alofa. She's from Malie, and my father is from Salani. Like Falealili and stuff. I'm just it's been pretty hectic. The last couple of weeks, the announcement came out, and I was happy about that. I was really happy about that. But I actually had something else that was like in my mind, kind of like incredibly occupied, and it was that just last weekend I proposed to my now fiance.
I saw that, man. Congrats. That's awesome, bro. That's right. Congratulations, man.
Look, great things have happened. But yeah, the proposal was what I was most stressed out about. Just wanted everything to be smooth and perfect. But yeah, and now, London, the news about me heading off to London's also great as well. And just so happy to represent all people.
Yeah. Beautiful, man. First of all, let's not miss that. Congratulations, brother. What a beautiful time. What a beautiful time in your life. I'm very happy for you. Obviously a very happy time for you and your family. What was it like, when you received the news? How, obviously, you've said it was a great feeling, but, amongst your community and your circle and your family, what was it like when they found out, and what were the feelings in that moment?
Yeah, so in a way, I'm not. I hope this makes sense, but I'm not putting myself down. But what I mean is, there's so many incredible young singers out there in the world. They're world-class singers, and there are about 630 applicants, and I just chucked my name in. All you can do is just pray for the best, and you do your best, really. And I sent my videos in, and then they emailed me and said, "Yep, you're in the next round." And so I thought we went from 600 down to about 300, but I was told it got narrowed down to 24.
Wow.
From 600. And so I was like, yeah, I made the next round, but I had no idea that it was actually the next round was an odd bunch of us.
Yeah.
So I was told, yep, you're going to London to audition in person. And this happened in December last year. It was close to Christmas. I'd never been to that side of the world before.
Right.
Auditioned, made the final round. And at that point, I'm just kind of just letting things be, enjoying every moment, getting experience from just, walking amongst the people and all of that. Did my the final round, and then I came home. had a good Christmas. Also did like we all graduated and stuff. It was a lot of it was really full on.
Yeah.
And I had a gig in Auckland, and I received an email at like 6 in the morning. And I'd woken up like that early, and I just looked at my phone like half awake, and it said, "Here's an offer. Would you like to come to London for 2 years?"
Mm.
And like I'd never fully woken so fast. I was just like, no, yeah. And then I couldn't sleep for like 7 days.
Of course. I mean, no one, I mean, anyone would feel the same way, receiving that kind of news, especially so early in the morning. Um,
Mm.
you know, the process of going over to London, for the audition, like, what's that like? Is that self-funded, or do they fund that for you? Like, because obviously it's not cheap. So how was that process?
I'd had funds that had been won from competitions. I did a few competitions in
Oh,
Australia
awesome. Yeah.
that helped me, but there's also an incredible, generous, group of Kiwis who just, very kind and just wanted to support me. So I was able to head over through sponsorship, through, people
Beautiful.
just hearing, yeah, you've made this next step. Let me help you. Let me guide you. Because
Wow.
yeah, it's not cheap. I wouldn't have been able to do it all on my own.
Mm.
It's a lot, and especially as someone I'd never been on a plane. I was like 24 hours in the cabin alone.
Wow.
So like, yeah, I had to consider many obstacles, but a lot of generous, kind people have reached out to say, "Let me make this easier," and then I just had to focus on my voice
Wow.
and maintaining jet lag and all of that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, really grateful to everyone who has supported.
Awesome, man. Look, the voice. Take us right back to the beginning of that vocal journey, or the journey itself. Where did you first find your love for singing, for music? When did you realize that, man, I could actually really do this opera thing? Like, where did that all start for you?
Yeah, so it all started at home, with my mum and just my grandma Tusi. Those local kameki things, those
Yeah,
White Sunday ones,
of course.
you know. Um, there are some kids and you got the parents going, do it, hey, better do your kauloko. And I'm there kind of like, I don't mind being like performing. And my grandma Tusi used to have me have my kauloko sorted,
Yeah.
have my whatever solo. I didn't mind singing a
Mm,
solo and stuff. And so it all began in in my church, my Efakasa Hastings church.
let's go.
Yeah, just grew up. Didn't think much of singing. I just thought it was a thing that everyone had, um, and that everyone could harmonize, and everyone, singing was just a normal practice. So I didn't think much of it. In primary school, I was at Peterhead Primary School in Flaxmere, and again, didn't think much of singing. I joined like the poly group there. I was in the band. I was playing guitar, no
Mm,
singing. Didn't think much of it again. High school, I ended up joining a youth initiative called Project Prima Volta. And so
wow.
this youth initiative empowers youth to kind of find themselves through classical music, and
Yeah.
I had no interest in it. So in high school, yeah, I was playing jazz guitar at the time with my teacher, Justin Lindsay.
Wow.
He had a pamphlet, "Do you want to give opera a go?" And I was like, Okay, why not?"
Yeah.
And of course, it's led me here. Yeah, I went to uni, took my voice to uni, and at the University of Waikato, and then I joined the Tanzos program, Te Pai Kōkako. It was a master's program, and that set me up really for me to prepare for the Royal Opera House, which was, yeah, now a dream come true.
Yeah, man, that's what a beautiful story, and it's one that resonates with a lot of our Pasifika and our Samoan artists, regardless of
Mm,
the genre that you play in. It's always the yeah, I had to do my loko, I had to do lokomiki, but it's by the looks of it, it set you up pretty well, to get to this stage in
absolutely.
your career. It's a beautiful thing, man. tell us about growing up in Hastings, and being a Samoan, growing up in Hastings in the region. How have
Yeah.
you've kind of already alluded to the fact your church upbringing and the whakasa, but how has your roots kind of shaped the way you approach your craft now?
Yeah. I would say in Flaxmere Hastings, on the outside, it is perceived as, just quite a supposedly troublesome area.
Mm,
But those who are from Flaxmere, like I've been there like most of my life,
yeah,
until I had to move and to Hamilton. But every time I go home, I, I know Flaxmere really well, and
yeah,
great things come out of Flaxmere. It just gets a bit, I don't know, just swept under the rug, and then all the whatever bad things. And I mean, whatever things that happen, they happen everywhere,
yeah,
good or bad. And I just I just love Flaxmere. It's one of those places where if there's any kind of scuffle, you might see them the next day, like at church or something. Like
yeah,
everyone knows each other.
yeah.
Everyone is like somehow knows each other, like through like mutual friends, like I don't know, sisters, cousins, dog. That's how
Of
we all
course,
know each other. Like it's all yeah, real community vibes. The real Flaxmere that I know.
yeah, real tight knit.
Yeah, Hastings boys, myself and my brothers. I've got three brothers who also sing opera, and we've all, yeah, yeah, we just grew up. Like, obviously, it wasn't the most luxurious, but I reckon I had one of the best childhoods.
Mm,
Church, school, family around.
yeah,
Yeah, I
as
think I've got a really yeah, I think I got a good understanding of just yeah, knowing my roots
yeah,
in New Zealand within my family. Yeah, and I just try and be a good son. I think that's
yes,
I think a good person. I try my best to be. Yeah,
yeah. That's mean. I like that. It's really highlighting the simple things that we can sometimes take for granted, like just
yeah,
being home or knowing where home is.
yeah.
Being a good person, and I'm hearing that coming through, and you're sharing, man. And it's you mentioned your brothers who are also uh, you know great vocalists in their own respect and in their own regard. Is that something that like is in the family, in the genes? Like, do you pick that up from mom or dad, or is that something you just picked up as you've grown?
I think just as PI, I think we just all can somewhat do something.
Yeah,
I think can't sing, the ingi, like get
yeah,
guitar, anything, piano, like all of that.
yeah.
I think, yeah, but both sides are musical. Um, oh, yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it's fine. My mum would always, she used to tell us, she used to dream about having a voice,
Yeah,
like a mean, singing voice, and oh, how do I say this? She she chooses to switch keys whenever she wants, so
of
that's fine.
course.
That's
Yes, she's
all wonderful,
fluid. She's
beautiful.
fluid in her key
Yeah, yeah,
choice.
yeah.
Yeah,
Modulations, yeah. And so, yeah, no, she, and just every now and then she'll tell me, you know what, even if I didn't have the voice, I passed it on to you guys, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, we can't say anything about it. Yeah, you're right.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, all family, like we all sing. It's not anything out of the ordinary for us, but I think classical music definitely.
Yeah,
Classical music, we didn't grow up around that. I don't even remember what. Yeah, I think the closest thing we had to like classical singing and stuff was just the FHSR besses, like
of
the
course.
SATB.
Yeah,
We were singing tenor. One of my younger brother like was in like the E
yeah,
for music,
yeah,
and then yeah, like that was the closest to classical singing or whatever we were doing
yeah.
at church. Yeah.
It's opera. I mean, nowadays it's starting to become a bit more common, especially for our Pasifika youth. But in earlier years, it's not really a common path for many of our Samoan Pasifika youth. Tell us about the challenges that you've obviously in any kind of space you enter. There's a good and there's bad. There's challenges that you face. Tell us about the challenges that you faced, navigating the space or the world that is opera music and classical music, and how did you
Mm.
kind of overcome that?
Ooh. Um, well, that's a tough one, eh?
Mm,
I'd say in all honesty, um, I think for my kind of gen,
mm,
um, I think I've had it much easier than those who were before me.
yeah,
I think, oh, not necessarily like challenges, but like, yeah, things for me to be aware of.
yeah,
Um, I know as a PI, like especially when I first started, it was a bit like, oh, you're a bit more like balangi and stuff, and I'm like, I'm just a kid who just wants to sing. You
yeah.
know, I've never seen it in any other way.
Of course.
Um, I do know the singers before me, like Pene Pati,
Mm,
Amitai Pati,
yeah.
Moses Mackay, these Samoan singers, the Solomeo boys,
Mm,
Jonathan Lemalu, like Dame Kiri Takanoa, like all these brown opera singers
mm,
would have had much more challenging things that when I joined,
of course.
it was kind of like, oh no, it is a bit more okay,
Yeah.
or not even okay. Okay is not the word. Just like as soon as I saw a brown face doing this, like especially bro, those Sully Mill boys got me hooked there.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
time I just like was like, man, how are they doing that?
Yeah.
How are they singing like that? So I'll be honest, I can't think of like the challenges, like especially this month. Come on, think of amazing things have been
Yeah.
happening. I've been thinking about anything else,
Shout out.
but like yeah, just honestly speaking, it's I can't think of anything at the moment, but I do know that things were much, I'd say it was easier for me to join because I saw inspiration from um, the older group of singers.
Yeah.
And it just made me super comfortable to go, they're doing it, I'm gonna give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that answers
No,
somewhat.
absolutely. I think what you've alluded to is pretty cool. Like, and I guess it's something positive for, obviously, like you said, your generation, but the generation that's coming through, after you as well. Is we've had people like Jonathan Lemalu, Dame Kiri Tekanoa, Ben Makisi, who have
Yeah,
really
yeah.
laid out, carved the way for us to, to follow. And I think that's cool. Sometimes there aren't any challenges, and that's fine.
Mm,
And it's really inspiring to hear that, you know, you've had it. You've had a good path that's been carved out for you, and to be able to
mhm.
follow it is awesome, man. I just want to touch on the residency, or the artist program, the residency program. If you can maybe just verify it, just in case the researcher spots, but you're the first Kiwi of Samoan heritage to be accepted into this program.
Um,
We might need to
I'm not
fact check that. I might need to go back and
sure.
fact check that. But according to the
That,
research,
that's I'm not sure, but I will say I think the main thing is I haven't had any international like studies.
right,
So,
right,
what I'm this is not me saying this, but I've seen it on the articles of
yes,
just that I've done no training anywhere else but in New Zealand. So I'm like just pure
homegrown,
Kiwi learning,
homegrown, yeah,
and yeah, so they've kind of come out and kind of scouted and kind of went, oh, yep, this guy, come give it a go. And
mm,
yeah, things have turned out well. So they took six singers, bro.
wow,
Among the six, yeah, and that's it's awesome. Yeah, I think let's fact check that. Let's
yeah, yeah. We'll come back to that just to be sure. But regardless, I think it's a great achievement. Like I said, for
yeah,
Samoa, for New Zealand, and for the
yeah.
Pacific, and one that we're all very proud of. Talk to us about your thoughts on, what is representation on stages like the Royal Opera House and a lot of the world stages across Europe. What message do you hope your journey sends to fellow artists, young people, and and any of the young uh, opera stars or budding opera singers that are coming through? What's a message that you hope
Hmm.
your journey sends to them?
I think for those just any yeah in any culture, those who are just aspiring to want to take on this path, I just hope that that it's not luxurious. It's a tough game, but I do just want you to be singing and happy. Really, I'm like it sounds cheesy. It sounds cheesy, but like I want that for myself.
Yeah,
10 years down the line to still be happy, still be singing, because I'd rather that than try and push for that. And if you do make it to the top crop, sweet, congratulations. But I do just hope that if not singing, that music is like in your life and you're just yeah, you have it around you, around your family, because it's a grace from God.
yeah,
I think music is something that you can't explain and just you just have to do. I think a message for those who may not want to sing, but to just give it a go. Like singing is fun. Join a choir,
yeah, man.
try it. But I do think like the most important thing in this whole career is people, and I think the people are the most important to share your gift with, share singing with. And like, yeah, even if you don't want to take up singing, I do think the skills that you learn from being in a team group, and it doesn't have to be sport, because you can be in a choir, you can be in a I don't know, quartet, barbershop quartet. I did
Yeah,
that in high school. It was fun as well.
yeah.
Just yeah, I think just if music can be somewhat around, that's a win. So my message is really yeah, just be happy, be singing, and just give things a go. Be open minded. Um, yeah, and if you feel like singing's not your vibe, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it'll always be there.
Whoa, it always makes the world go round, man. Makes the world go round.
Gosh, put me
Um,
on a podcast, eh?
you,
Maybe.
we know your voice is world class. That's already been proven. But look, if you weren't singing opera, this is just like a side, let's take a sidebar on this. If you weren't singing opera, what would Emmanuel be doing? Was did you ever want to be like a star, ping pong player, or an All Black, or a chef, or um, or,
Oh, oh,
did you want to be a full time TikTok star? You're part time, halfway there. Tell us, what was
oh.
the other option?
Okay. Um, I'll be honest. I have not had a plan B.
That's the
I've gone
one. That's the
like
one.
it's controversial.
That's it.
Some people be like, hey, you got to," and I've really focused. But if I have to think like, and this is why I'm like, bro, like I really like just like I really like comedy. Like I like trying to be funny. It
Yes.
sometimes doesn't work, but like I like what do you call it? Like directing,
Yeah.
like like comedy skits, and it sounds like crazy, but I can't really think of anything else. Otherwise, yeah, not a comedian though. Not a
Right.
comedian, not a stand-up one, and try and like
Yeah.
do some crowd work and stuff. No, I mean just
Like sketch
uh,
work,
uh
right?
yeah, sketch work. Like
Yeah.
is it Key and Peele
Like
or
Samoan
what do
Key
you?
and Peel. Yeah, very hard.
Yeah, just
Absolutely.
like and not necessarily me doing it, but I like doing like video shots and stuff, or just
Yeah.
yeah, silly things. Otherwise, yeah, like I've been like really into cooking lately.
Let's go.
Um, not baking, because baking's a bit more discipline.
It's
You have
another
to be
art.
really,
It's another art form,
when
baking.
it comes to measurements for baking, it's serious. But
Yeah.
like cooking, I just chuck it, ratatouille, that stuff, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd say those. Like salmon, Key and Peele, or chef.
Nice. I like
Yeah.
that. It's a good. It's still artistic. You know, it's still in the creative sphere. I like that. Um, if you could do a dream duet, if you haven't already done so, if there was someone, anyone alive or someone who has passed on, any genre, any stage, who would it be? What would you sing? Where would it be? What's that dream duet?
Ooh.
That's a tough one. I know that's a tough one. Ooh, the options.
Now it just opened like a. Just, oh, okay. I'd like to do anything with Cynthia Erivo.
Mm,
I've been
mm,
like it's quite like obsessive, but I've been what I've watched like the Wicked movie like I don't think I can count how many times I've watched it.
right.
Cynthia Erivo, she's incredible.
What a voice, eh?
Um, yeah, I
What a
know,
voice.
just casual. Um, oh, it's kind of tough.
Mm,
I wouldn't off the top of my head. I Here, let me get cheesy again. I do want to sing at home as much as I can.
yeah, yeah.
I think that's so I guess the duet would I wouldn't mind who the duet with is. I mean, yeah, I think just to sing at home as much as I can. I know I'm gonna end up on the whole other side, so I
Yeah,
know family and friends are, time isn't on our side and all of that.
yeah.
But if I was to, yeah, maybe like Pavarotti.
Mm.
Although I reckon just be telling me, no, I got to
No,
sing more. Like,
no,
you
need
know,
more. The palette,
but
lift
that's
the
fine.
palette. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a bit more higher, my
yeah,
friend.
yeah.
Yeah, uh, yeah. I appreciate Bruno Mars. He's amazing.
That's cool.
I wouldn't want to do it with him. I don't think things would work out. I'll just sound too operatic. But I admire just watching a concert of his.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
mind you, I have to stop you. It would be a good crossover. I've seen you do the Man's World on your TikTok with the singer in Christchurch. Was it
that was in in
Christchurch?
Rotorua.
In Rotorua. That was
Yeah, with
epic.
Russell Harrison.
With
Yeah,
Russell Harrison.
that
That
was awesome.
that was a cool
Yeah,
crossover. Not
yeah,
gonna lie.
James Brown vibe. Oh yeah, I can't think of yeah, can't think of anything else really.
Zeki. No, that's cool. That's a good list. That's a solid
I
list.
reckon as soon as this Zoom finishes, I'll send you a list because I reckon that they're gonna start popping up.
Start popping in. Hey, look, as we
I mean, we could duet, brother.
say
We
less,
could duet.
Samoa,
I don't know.
Samoa, you heard it here first. You heard it here first in the 65 show. Let's
If you
go.
want to.
Look, as we bring our Talanoa, our Homo chats to a close this evening, kind of our last question to wrap up. What's your vision for the future? You've already got, the next couple of years pretty much laid out. But,
Mm.
thinking in the next 5, 10 years, for yourself as an artist, but just as a person, what does the future look like for you?
Yeah, I think as an artist and myself and the brothers have talked about it that well, two things. The one thing is to be all casted in one opera.
Yes.
That would be epic. And if that happens in, the next 10 years,
Yep.
oh, yeah, it's a bucket list tick. The second one is really bringing our knowledge back to here. We're so far away from everything that's happening over in Europe and Britain.
Yep.
Whatever knowledge that we have, would like to bring it back to New Zealand, feed it back into, the islands and, go around telling, that saying that singing is a great thing. Um, we are so blessed to, our mum at first was hesitant. She did the best she could for our education.
Mm.
And four of us were like, "Oh, we want to do singing." She was like, "You don't want to, don't want a solid job like a, doctor or a
Yeah.
dentist. You don't want to go to Malua." I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
all of those talks." And we said, no, the singing thing's pretty cool, and she was really open-minded about it,
Yeah.
and really let us take it all in. Um, and so we're all, yeah, still aspiring to sing opera and sing classical singing, whatever. And I just hope that yeah, again, I can be like a role model, or literally be physically home
Yeah.
to share this knowledge, and also share with parents that you can do something with your voice, that you can have a career in singing, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's like singing's not hmm, not like a what do they say? I've heard it a few times that it's not a real job.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just want to share that there is a pathway here, and there are people who have done this,
Yeah.
and have uh yeah, been rewarded with great things, whether whatever, like luxurious things, or in life, or
Of
happiness,
course.
and all great things can come from singing and performing, and for you too, like
Yeah.
you all feel great. Of course, it's not easy, but yeah, I just want everyone to get that kind of idea that singing is a career.
It's a
And
viable. It's a viable career. I mean, it's
yeah,
become. You can crack
you
it.
can do it. Yeah, yeah, you can crack it. Work hard.
It's the one. Thank
Yeah.
you, Uso. I appreciate that sharing, and it's been a
Well,
great afternoon of on our Humble Chat segment. Again, thank you for your time. Before we wrap up, I'll give you the opportunity. Any shout outs, any lofaangas you want to make before we close up our talanoa for this afternoon?
yeah, I just want to wish my Auntie Tai 65th birthday, which is 2 days after mine. I want to
Yes.
wish my family in Camberley, my family in Flaxmere, my mum, my sister, my brother in Flax. Yeah, my whole Fuimaono side, Fonoti side, Samakau side, all of them,
Let's
my
go.
bricklayer lads, the basketballers, and I just want to say from my friend Jette Co. Shoruso.
Jefta, my guy, yes.
You know
I know Jefta. Small world, that's my Uso, man.
him.
Beautiful.
Cheers. That's it.
Nah, thank you, man. Look, Molia Tulingang Faftai. Again, thank you. We wish you all the
I love it.
best for what is going to be a pretty full-on next few months going into the end of the year, and for the next couple of years. We follow you with eagerness, and we're supporting you in all your endeavors. Also, keep waving the flag for the 685 for Flaxmere, for our people. We're very proud of you. So, and we look forward to catching up again. The next installment of the journey. Happy birthday for tomorrow, and happy engagement again to you and your beautiful
Yeah,
fiance.
yeah, yeah. And to my fiance,
And yeah, you might, to the fiance. You don't want to forget that one, also.
I left the laugh.
Bless you, brother. Look forward to catching up again. But from the 685 show PM in Samoa, God bless. That was our catch up with Emmanuel Fonoti-Fuimaono. Rising, I don't want to say rising, he's a Samoan, worldwide Samoan tenor, cracking it in the scene. His special pese mole tolofa'anga to Emmanuel, as well as the Whakasa Hastings fam, Whakasa worldwide. Let's go.